Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your April 2019 1st through the 15th reading. So we're looking at the first half of April from the 1st through the 15th. Welcome to any new people here, and welcome back to any returning people, followers, and subscribers. Thank you for taking the time to follow my YouTube channel or watch this video and send in all your support, feedback, and comments. And always a big thank you to all of my clients out there, both regular and new, for keeping me so busy with personal one-on-one readings. I've got horns in my hair today. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for all of you. Thank you so much. And as many of you know who follow me, if you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can get more info and contact details by clicking on the description link below or going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on the little About button there. You can email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. I can usually get back to your initial response the same day or within the first 24 hours. And turnaround time for personal readings is pretty good too. I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is all that I do. So I work pretty diligently with both of our schedules to get you a reading in as timely a fashion as possible. And I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life. So if you're interested, send me an email. We'll go from there. Well, let's get right into this. This is for the water sign of Scorpio for April 1st through the 15th, 2019. Let's see what's in store for our Scorpions. Remember that general readings always resonate a little differently for everyone watching because there's so many of you watching. So if you know your rising and moon sign or Venus sign, watch those too. They can provide additional clarification. Okay, Scorpio, let's see what's in store for you for the first half of April. Okay, Scorpio, we begin with the Nine of Swords, followed by the Two of Wands. Where do I go from here? What direction do I go in? Next to that, we have the Seven of Pentacles, followed by the Seven of Swords. And from the bottom of the deck, the overall energy and focus is the Three of Pentacles. So the overall energy and focus, what this is about for the first half of April, is the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is about teamwork and collaboration and partnerships, working together with another person or a group of people towards a common cause or a common goal. But I do see a lot of stress and anxiety here, and maybe not knowing where you should go or where things stand with something or someone or a group of people at this time. So the Three of Pentacles, it does focus around people working together or a teamwork or partnership or collaboration, whether that's in job, work, and career, whether that's in your social community, whether it's in your personal romantic relationships or significant other relationships. I feel like some of you, this may be because it's a general reading, there's so many of you watching. This can be kind of tricky sometimes with general readings. Some of you, it may be that there's a lot of stress and anxiety over whether or not to continue within a partnership or a collaboration of some kind or a project. Some of you, it may be whether everybody is on the same page or not. If it's in a love romance relationship, this could be wondering if you and your partner actually are working towards the same thing or have the same goals. If you're working within a group of people or a project, same thing. Again, for each groups of you watching, it's going to be in one area of your life, and some of you it might be in another area. So whether or not everybody is actually working towards the same thing, because that's what the Three of Pentacles represents. Whether you love the person or people you're working with or whether you don't, everybody agrees that you're working towards or on the same thing. So that may be in question, or you may be in doubt as to that. Because we have the Nine of Swords and the Two of Wands here. The Nine of Swords, I always say it's a card I never really like to see for anybody because it represents a lot of stress, anxiety, worry, fear. Usually the fear is about an unknown future, but every time you think about it, you imagine the worst possible outcome, when in fact you're building it up to be so big and so bad in your head, it doesn't really reflect the reality of the situation. The staying up late card, the sleepless nights card. It is somewhat illusionary energy, meaning that the source of your fear or concern might be valid, but this is a card about always fearing the worst possible outcome and making it this enormous thing in your head. And it's usually, I mean, fear is usually often based on inactivity too, because this kind of fear about the future can keep you paralyzed and not actually taking action or doing anything proactive, which can keep you stuck in that fear because you feel like a helpless victim at the mercy of waiting for something to happen to you. Being proactive can banish a lot of that. Taking your own power and control in the situation to the best of your ability can often greatly lessen fear of the future if you're doing what you can about it. Now, the Nine of Swords is clarified by the Two of Wands. So what's all the stress and anxiety and fear about? Well, it's about the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is trying to decide whether you should go in one direction or another direction, go left or go right. And the key to choosing, to not getting stuck at this crossroads, to choosing the right path, is in making that choice based on long-term future and long-term vision, because this is about looking down the road, making your choices and decisions on where you're going to go now, which steps you're going to take now based on where you want to end up at. So, for example, in a love-romance relationship or marriage or a relationship of that kind. But you can apply this to whether this is in your social community or a job, work, career, or project of that kind. What's the ultimate long-term goal here? Is everybody on the same page? Because what do I want? What's my ultimate vision in, say, this relationship? This is the path that I need to take to walk down that. If I'm in a relationship, are we both having the same goals? If I'm still dating or if I'm still looking around, am I investing in getting to know people who actually have the same goals? If not, even if the energy is good, it's ultimately not going to go anywhere because you're not headed in the same direction. This is about staying true to what you know in whatever area of your life this resonates in, what your long-term vision is, and choosing that path. But there's a lot of stress and anxiety about where am I going next? Where am I headed? And since the overall energy is on partnerships, if you know what you want, then I feel like some of you are really doubting as to whether you are on the same page with someone else or with a group of other people in working towards the same thing. Now, next to that, we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. So 2 sevens here. 7 is a number that can mean reflection, contemplation, motives. The Seven of Pentacles is a card about taking stock of what you have and trying to make decisions based on that. And it's sitting right next to the Nine of Swords too. So a lot of the stress and anxiety is looking at whatever this situation or relationship or job or project, whatever this is, looking at what you have invested into it so far. That's what this woman is doing. It's harvest time. She planted the seed. She put all the work in to grow this crop. It's a decent crop. It's a good crop. It's a 7. 10s represent completion. So, this is about taking stock of what you have. Sorry, I just had an itch on my back. Taking stock of what you have and asking yourself, should I pick what I have grown and move on to something else? Is there a way to take this 7 of Pentacles to a 10 of Pentacles and get that really long-term rooted stability, security, structure of this relationship, this job, this project? Is there a way to make changes in the next growth cycle so that this 7 can become a 10? If not, am I content with this just remaining a 7, remaining as it is? And if not, do I need to just take what I can, abandon this and go do something different or plant a different crop? Or, and this could be anything from, going to a different project or a different job, or, maybe making a decision to leave a relationship because it's not going to go to where you want it to, what your goal is, because it looks like the stress and lack of certainty is about whether or not everybody who's involved in this, regardless of what this is, are you on the same page? Are you actually both working towards the same thing? And I feel like somebody isn't, or at least they're not talking about it, because the 7 of Pentacles is clarified by the 7 of Swords, sometimes called the Thief card. It can represent being actually taken from or exploited. But there's an underlying feeling with the Seven of Swords about deception or about keeping your cards close to your chest. Not necessarily a bad thing. This can be about keeping your plans, your ideas, your goals, and your actions secret or to yourself because you're trying to achieve a goal of some kind. Again, not a bad thing as long as it's not causing you harm or harm to other people around you by this concealment or deception. So for some of you, because this is a general reading, for some of you, this doubt, this uncertainty, and this fear about whether or not you're on the same page with somebody else working towards the same things might be because the other person is thinking about things. Maybe even you know they're thinking about things because you may have had some conversation about it, but they're not really sharing very much with you about what they think or what they if they want anything more, if you guys are going in the same direction. Some of you, this worry and stress may be because you don't know. They're not really sharing with you. Some of this, it might be you, and it might be a combination of both too. You might be taking a look at this job, this project, this relationship, and asking yourself, well, this is everything that I've invested in this so far. This is what I have to show for it so far. Am I getting back everything that I've put in? Am I getting more? Am I getting less? What do I do based on that? You might be doing that as well and keeping it to yourself. It feels like where the disconnect is that you and the other person or people aren't really communicating openly, honestly, and clearly with each other. And that's where this uncertainty and this fear about the future is. But it also does imply that the whole weight of how this works out or whether or not you get what you want is dependent on external circumstances or other people. And that is not true, because we all, have the option of taking control of our own life, even if that means leaving situations or people behind if they don't want the same things as us. So let's pull, because it looks like challenging. So let's pull some advice cards here, Scorpio. Advice and guidance for Scorpio in this situation for the first half of April. The Emperor and the Three of Wands in reverse. Advice and guidance for the first half of April. The Emperor, this is a card, it's Aries energy. It might be an Aries you're dealing with too. But as advice, this is about self-control, self-discipline, taking control, because that's what the Emperor is about. The Emperor is the Emperor because he is at the top of the food chain. He runs everything. He has his finger on the pulse of everything. He has an entire empire to run, and while that includes delegating to many people, they report back to him. This is somebody who's all about, he's a very powerful person because he takes and maintains that control through rigid adherence to what he knows is right, to what he knows is true, and everything that he needs to do in terms of being disciplined. This is about self-discipline and structure and taking your control, taking your power, having your power. Now, this doesn't mean being a tyrant because it's in the upright position. This is not about being overly aggressive. This is about taking control of your own life, your own choices and actions in this situation, instead of what I feel some of you may have kind of gotten yourself into a pattern or a habit or a place where you're waiting for what's going to happen in this situation. Maybe you're not talking to the other person or people, and they're not talking to you, or this person's not talking. You guys aren't sharing with each other to find out if you guys really are on the same page. So there's this fear and uncertainty and confusion, and Spirit is advising you, look, we only have control of ourselves and nobody else, but you do have the ability to take control of your part of this, which would probably mean having a conversation, going, look, this is where I'm at. I'm tired of waiting. It's been going all this uncertainty, and I need to know what's going on, because this is what I want and this is what I'm going forward. Are we going on the same path together in the same direction here? That's what this means, is taking back the control that does belong to you. You can't answer for somebody else. And then the Three of Wands in reverse. Now, in the upright position, the Three of Wands is kind of waiting for your ships to come in. You've put in some of the work. You're waiting to see what the results are. You're waiting to see some positive manifestations of a larger goal happening. So in the reverse, as advice, this would be that the time for gestative patient waiting is kind of at an end or drawing to an end. This is again about maybe taking more action instead of waiting to see what the ship is coming in, implying that you're at the total mercy of another person or event. This is about taking control, the control that is yours, which is to say, look, this is where I'm at. This is where I've told you I'm at. Are we on the same page? Because this is what I want, and this is what I'm building towards. If it's not with you, then I need to, and it's not something, we're not on the same page, then we need to make some changes. I need to, walk my own path here towards my own happiness and fulfillment, whether this is in a personal relationship or a collaboration between other people. So that is your advice for proceeding through this, at least for the first half of April. We'll see what happens in the mid-months when we look at the last half, the last 2 weeks of April. So Scorpio, that pretty much wraps up your April 1st through the 15th of 2019. I hope that it's been helpful and useful to you. Again, those of you who are interested in a personal reading with me, click on the description link below. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to set up a reading with you. I do love and romance, of course, compatibility charting, career, work, and finance, and investment readings, gift readings, and I also do 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at what's coming in all the main areas of your life over a 6 or 12-month period, depending on how far ahead you want to look. So there's a few things to choose from. You can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. That link is also provided. There's a few options there too, but a lot of people think it's particularly useful for quick answers to the quick, easy questions. But for more in-depth readings, probably something more traditional would be helpful. So anyway, I look forward to hearing from you, those of you who are interested. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the April mid-month readings, where we'll look at the last half of April. And until then, as always, Scorpio, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.